Hi everyone, welcome back to The Grind. Yes,
We're back.
We are back and talking through week 2 of our series, and the title is Why God? Which I'm
Why?
sure all of us have asked that question before. Why God? And I think that is the question Job is asking. But why God?
But why?
But why?
But why?
With all the things that's going on in his life, losing his cattle, his children, his life, his, I guess beautiful,
cats as well,
his
maybe?
cats, I suppose, dogs, whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, also his skin has just erupted in a series of, I don't
Boils.
know, boils and lesions and whatever. Basically, I dare say this would constitute as one of the worst days of his life.
So far.
So far, who
yeah.
knows? It could
Or
just,
maybe just the worst day of his life.
or that too.
Or anything else. Actually, I just want to comment on the, what do you call that? The service, the sermon, they have this intro thing. It's so good. It's like a movie.
Oh, right, yes,
It's like, in a world, and then something.
in a world where,
Where
so
everything
God.
sucks.
in a world where everything sucks. Meet Joe.
So yeah, credits to those who made that.
Yes. Yeah. So going back to worst day of your life, I guess what would make
I don't really want to go back.
go back to the worst day of your life? Just thinking about the worst day
Yeah,
of your
I
life.
left that behind, thank you
I
very
know,
much.
that's why we don't want to recount it. Hence, explain briefly. Or what would constitute as a really bad day, I guess.
A really bad day. It's just for me. It's the simple one. Like for example, you're looking forward for a trip or something, and then it just gets canceled.
Oh.
I
Has
don't
that
know.
happened to you before?
Yeah, quite a number of times.
Oh.
Because of the typhoon.
Typhoon. Oh. Right.
Yeah, something like that, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say whenever Liverpool don't win a trophy and we come this close, like
Oh.
my feeling is always I'll never recover from this.
Do you ask why God?
Wow.
Sometimes it's just like it takes a second to score a goal. We had so many seconds.
It's so many seconds, like 90 minutes of seconds, right?
90 minutes
It's
worth
a
of seconds.
second.
My
Sometimes
God,
120.
These players.
Just take 1 second.
But the overwhelming feeling is I'm never going to recover from this.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
Oh man, this guy, seriously, so
And he's
invested in his
Liverpool.
football.
Yeah.
I think what would make a really bad day is if one bad thing happens after the other. You know how like sometimes like something wrong, like something bad just happens, and then it's just one after the other.
Oh, domino effect.
Domino effect.
Yeah.
It's like, because there was again one time, this was again in college, late for class,
So one thing.
one thing,
Yep.
right? Because class is really far away. Like my classes are far away.
I'm here! I'm here! I'm here! It's okay!
And then as I'm coming back from home from class, I didn't realize that I didn't close my bottle tight enough. So the
So-
water was all over my notes.
Okay.
Oh,
So
no.
that's bad thing number 2.
Spilled bottles.
Spill
Yep.
bottle, then bad
I
thing-
am keeping score, by the
Yeah,
way.
and then also at that same time, I'm like making lunch because it was a late lunch. I think like class ended around like 3 something. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make myself something quick. So I did like some eggs and sausages. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna fry the sausages, and then like so I was blow drying each page of my notebook, like cause it'd be wet, and I need my
Yeah.
notes for work, for work, yeah. And then the smoke alarm goes off.
Smoke alarm, number 3.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh man, this really this sucks. Like, let's go try it, sort it out, turn off the smoke alarm. I don't think it was ever shutting off, and I realized that my sausages were all burnt, so there goes my lunch. Then I'm not sure what I ate actually because I was just so distraught. I was
Wow.
like, wow, this day
What
really,
a series of unfortunate events.
literally a series of unfortunate events. I just literally remember it being like, oh, this sucks. Why does everything have to happen today,
Nice.
one after the other? But definitely, right? They're just days where just bad things happen one after the other. And I know with Job, it doesn't constitute that.
Yes, of course.
You know, it
I
was,
mean, burning your lunch is not the same as losing 10 children, but
yeah, you know, I mean, discomfort level varies, but still. So that's what happened for him, right?
Yeah.
He definitely, that was a tragic day for him. So we all know why this happened, right? This happened because Satan was challenging God and said like, the only reason why he's still
Yeah.
worshiping you is because he, everything's you have this
Give him
hedge of
so
protection.
much.
Yeah, you give him so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
It's a hedge of protection for him. Like take away
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
he will curse you.
Yeah.
Does that, and then it's like, oh, because his life isn't affected. Fine, like hit him with boils, but don't kill him. Still, so basically, the challenge like Job to curse God. But what we see here actually that Job did not curse God. In fact, he cursed the day that he was,
was born.
born.
He was born.
So, do you think Job was wrong in cursing the day of his birth? Like, why or why not?
Is he cursing the day he was born in a way that, like, if I was never born, this would never happen? Like that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah.
thing?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, because he definitely did not do, in terms of context of like Satan's, challenge to God, right? Like how Job would curse God, like he cursed the day that he was born, and I don't know. I don't think he was wrong, to be honest, because I think it's just, I guess that was just his way of releasing emotion.
I think it's
Yeah.
just more of like the heat of the moment of you
Yeah.
just because everything just happened all at the same time
Yeah.
and then just blurted out words. I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel this is something that you would say when something really bad happens.
Yeah, but the thing is, like him hating his existence, is that not saying like God, you created something bad, right?
Yeah.
Because God is the creator of all things, we're made in the image of God. So if he cursed the day of that he was born, did he not inadvertently also curse God? That would be a question, right?
But he's not cursing the person of God, or he's not cursing God for what he did. He's like cursing his own existence,
Yeah.
Right.
right? I think. That's how I see it anyway.
No, that's a good.
Instead of directing it at God, he's directing it at himself.
You know how like some people like they passively aggressively talk about something and they're actually directing it to you.
You mean that's Job?
That's Job. He's like, cursing, the day he was born, was he cursing the person who made him? But again,
Well done, Job.
so I think it's, yeah. But if we were to take it as it is,
Yeah.
take away the whole like, context or whatever, but he did not curse God.
Yeah.
He didn't direct his anger at God. It was just more of like his circumstances and
Yeah.
his situation.
Instead, he asks a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
I mean, if you look at Job 3,
Like, why did I not die at birth? Why did the knees receive me? Like all these things in Job 3, from verse 1 to 26.
It's all like why?
why?
Tell me why.
Which I feel like is a very natural response.
Yeah.
Like we all do it. Like, why this? Why that? Why didn't I
Yeah.
make this choice? Why did this happen? There's so many questions why, because that's the thing we're trying to figure out.
Tell me why.
We know the who, the what, the where, and the when, and also the how a lot of the time. But it's
Yeah.
like, why?
Yeah, I think it's the why. And I think that's, like, we are never satisfied by the why, right? When it comes
Yeah.
to suffering. Like, oftentimes when we do stuff, we want to know the why. Like,
Yeah.
oh, tell us the why,
Yeah.
which provides the reason why we do what we do, right? Why do we do this? Why do we do what we do? We do
Yeah.
it because of God, right?
Yeah.
But then it comes to suffering, like, why does it happen? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, like, it's basically like,
And I think for Job's context also was the aspect of like, because for him, he knows that he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then these things happen, and then like we always have this sort of mindset, like when we talked about at the beginning, is like when the righteous prospers, and I think in a way Job has that perspective as well, because he feels that he didn't do anything wrong, but then this situation just happened, and that would come up with questions where it's very difficult for us to answer. And as humans, we all want these unanswered questions
To be answered.
to be answered.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got
So,
you.
yeah.
I got you.
he got you. I think if I were to think about it, like there are many questions that I have, and I remember, it's when the questions are unanswered that's when I'm like, oh, what's the point of asking them? Because no one's gonna answer them.
Yeah.
Because I know,
Yeah.
like growing up, I had a lot of questions like, oh, why does the Bible say this, or why is this happening, or why is that happening? Well, and then when I didn't get a satisfactory answer, I stopped asking, because I'm like, if no one's gonna answer, like, what's the point of asking these people? And then eventually it just kind of like, so I didn't really take ownership of faith, right? And then in the end, I guess I was just so focused on getting answers, I didn't focus on the who, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
who God is and what He has done in my life. And sometimes, that's where faith comes in. It's just like you gotta be okay with things not
Yeah.
happening
Yeah,
the way it is,
yeah.
because God always knows the better way.
Yeah.
And I think Job figured that out for himself, right?
And I think one of the difficult things about this as well is, like there's this phrase also like, why does this happen to me? And then some people would tell you like, oh, God has a plan.
Oh man.
Sometimes that answer, like you have to pick the person you're actually going to be. saying
Yeah,
that
because
to.
if you told that to me when I was in because definitely there's been times in my life where I was struggling
Yeah,
and it was painful. And if you pick that time and tell me, oh, God has a plan for you,
Yeah.
I would have taken what you said and
Returned it.
returned it.
Yeah.
This is my plan for you.
I'm just thinking of that because that's exactly what happened to me as well. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah?
like people would have, like, sometimes you have this situation where it's really tough, and
Mm-hmm.
then someone would respond to you. I mean, I do know that God has a plan, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's when someone tells you that it's sort of like, that's not what I'm
It's
looking
not
for.
what you
That's not
want
what
to
I'm looking
hear.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, from my perspective, the plan stinks.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
going.
not a good plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like, I think I said this before, when people like you're waiting for something and they say, oh, just wait upon the Lord. I'm like, that is the worst thing to tell me when I've been waiting for 8 months.
Yeah.
To wait upon the Lord, right? So, and I think like Job's friends and his wife did not have very appropriate responses
Yeah.
to him. Like, curse God and die. Oh, it's all your fault. You must have done something
Yeah.
wrong,
Ooh,
Instead of like, hey, how about some sympathy? Not even sympathy, how about some empathy, in my current situation right now.
Actually, for you guys, if you were in Job's situation, since you guys are like my close friends, I just want to know like how will I sort of empathize and sympathize with you guys.
Oh, thank you, Rico, for caring
Thanks,
so
Rico.
much.
That's
Now
about us.
I'm very curious.
It's a very good question.
Very good question. Wow.
Do you want me to just like for Nathan? Do you want me to just sit by your side and cry with you?
I mean,
Can I watch that happen? Especially when Liverpool loses.
it would not be helpful. Let me put it that
It's not
way.
even a good picture, dude.
No, it's not. I can tell you what not to do, which is
there, Nathan.
don't
Touch
give
him.
me the God has a plan or just pray, have faith. Don't give me any of that. Because that I don't find very helpful.
Okay.
Like, we know
At
it,
least I
but,
know that.
you know.
Yeah.
But I think like there are some moments that I will need to hear it, maybe because I get so caught up in my own like stuff, then it does bring out. But I think it's I think how I would receive empathy is just be there, go do something with me.
Yeah.
Whether it be eating or just letting me vent, because I think
Got it.
like
Food.
Point her
food,
towards a Zara sale.
point me towards the Zara sale. Retail therapy. There we go. I can't spend money traveling, but my money can spend itself in Hong Kong traveling through my clothes.
Yeah, I'm just asking because I'm really terrible at advices. That's why.
It's
So
okay.
I'll probably be quiet, like just yeah.
But yeah, it's tough, and I think everything that Job, was praying for that would never happen happened.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes, when you dread it, it happens. It's just like, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why? So, I guess like, how would you cope? How would your faith survive? Like, what would you say to God? I mean, I would definitely say why God, but like, how do you pick yourselves up after that?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't want to find out the answer to that question because it means that I have to go through something awful.
Yes. That's true.
And to me, that's kind of like my
Worries
own
you?
version of Job going, please don't let this happen, please don't let this happen.
Yeah.
Because sitting here now, I don't really know what I would do. Because I know my generic response is, I will never recover from this.
Yeah.
So that's probably where I'll begin.
Yeah.
But I like to think that maybe I would have enough faith to just say to God, fine, do what you will. But that would be really tough though.
Yeah. It takes a lot of courage
Yeah.
to actually do that.
Yeah.
I make no promises, essentially, is what I'm saying.
Because it's easy to say it.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I will have faith. Yes,
Yeah.
it's all about Jesus. Yes, Jesus is at the center of my life. Yes, God is good. We will choose faith. But then when you find yourself in a situation,
You're in that spot, yeah.
I think I will cover all range of, emotions, from like shutting myself out from people, to eating my sorrows, to numbing myself, to cutting myself off from people. I think I'll go through a cycle before picking the one that's appropriate for the situation.
Just try everything.
Yeah, try everything.
Yeah. I think for me, I'm just gonna hope for the time to actually help me heal in a way.
Yeah,
And then at
yeah.
the same time, like heal enough to be able to start doing something. But then that is me talking right now. I don't know what will happen to me by that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When that time comes, well, not that time comes, but when, like,
yeah,
if that situation ever comes to that point.
yeah.
and-
I think there's the balance also of like being too transparent and authenticity with people.
Yeah.
Because I think also like, again, we're all like in leadership positions, right? So for example, if we're too real with our people, then they're going to be like, oh, can I really trust the leader? Can I not? And I think it's also like, you also don't want to like unload raw emotions on your
Yes.
friends, because that's also not fair too. Like I want to unload everything on you guys. Like, so also I think it's I need the time to kind of just like really think about it and process like what just happened. Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? And then, be in a place where, okay, I need some clarity. Let me go talk to people.
Yeah.
Like, why is this happening? And yeah, again, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
All this is easier said than done.
Yeah.
And
I really feel like it's the sort of thing you only find out when/if it happens.
yeah.
I think for me, one thing that I am sure of, like when that situation ever, I'm not really looking forward to it, but of course there's gonna be situations where we're gonna find difficulties. But then one thing that I'm very encouraged about is I have full trust of my community as
Yeah.
well, that when the time comes, they wouldn't be like Job's friends response.
Yeah.
So I'm actually grateful for that, because I know that these people are gonna be there to reach out and encourage.
Oh,
And I do believe that the people that you're around with has a lot of contribution on how you're gonna pick
True.
yourself up.
So, I mean, again, we know the right things to say when we face suffering and stuff. But then, again, we've all been in our own situations where we suffered. So maybe what's the one thing that you would not do from experience?
Like if I'm the one who's experiencing
yeah.
suffering.
Like, I think for me, I will not cut myself out from people. Because that's what I did when I was going through some situations where I just like put everything
Shut
in a
down.
box, shut down, and then it just seeped through. Like whatever came out from myself was negativity. And because I didn't engage with my emotions, and I just shut out people. So that's the one thing I learned not to do, is to not shut out people.
I think for me, probably not bottle it up. I think I have that tendency to keep everything inside. And I haven't even reached the point of like just getting out of my house and everything. It's just me inside, deep inside, that I will bottle it up. So that thing probably is something that I need to work on. And I think, I don't know, I mean, that's how I would, yeah.
I think physically self-destruct. Like, it's a very out there response, but like, when bad things happen, some people like they'll go on like a drunken bender or something like that,
Yeah.
just to like numb whatever feelings
Drown yourself.
they
and
have.
stuff, yeah.
I'd like to think there's not much danger of that happening here. So yeah, I think that's definitely something that I wouldn't do.
Right. Makes sense. Just drown your sorrows and eat it in a hot pot.
Well, yeah, follow the pastor's example. Just go to hot pot.
It's good. It's a all year round
Yeah.
delicacy.
That's gonna be stuck in my mind, to be honest.
I mean,
Keep
it'll
the
be
train of hot pot.
expensive, But I mean, you got to eat somewhere.
Exactly.
You can be sorrowful
if you-
for 90 minutes.
90 minutes or 60 minutes in the place in North Point for just $98
Yeah.
for all you can eat vegetables, but limited amount of.
Wow, all you can eat vegetables. That is sorrowful.
It's like a buffet but salad.
Try it. Just a mouthful. I don't like green food. Where's the meat?
Yeah. It's a really sad buffet.
It's a very slad buffet. Okay,
Oh boy.
Well, one thing I want to end with this is I liked what Pastor had said, that Satan has got limited power. He can harm you, but he cannot hurt you.
Amen.
So, yes, all these things that happen is harm. It harms us, but at the end of the day, God is still sovereign. He loves us. We are His children, and I think I like to believe that He will never give us too much to handle.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the fact that, like, you know, Satan is not everywhere, right? But God is.
Amen.
So we can just trust with that fact, that beautiful fact that God is with us. And yeah, Satan's got nothing on him. So I don't want to say like suffering come at me, but you know, like,
Yeah, let's
Let's
not,
not go
let's
there.
let's
not.
not go there. But I know that if and when it does come, I can be okay. I will be okay because God's there.
Amen.
So
That's good.
Yep. So yeah, wherever you are, know that God's with you, even though it doesn't feel like it. He is there, and yeah, know that you are deeply loved by God.
Amen.
So that's all the time we have, and yeah, next week will be week 3. We'll look into Job and I guess his friends or friends. So
I really hope things get better for Job soon.
I really do hope so. But if we're week 2, we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find
We'll
out.
see you next week. Have a good weekend.
Yep.
Have a good week. Have a good week. Sorry,
Weekend.
weekend. I'm like
Week or
thinking
weekend?
weekend.
Both?
Both, all the above.
Yep.
All right. Bye. Have a beautiful week. Bye.